Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Friends Podcast,
Yes,
man.
sir.
Thank you so much for joining us. If it's your first time, thank you for coming through. We appreciate all the listeners. My name is Matt, and I'm here with my co-host.
What's up, everybody? It's Jermaine.
And my name is Rod, and this is the Friends Podcast. Make sure you check us out. We're streaming everywhere: Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music, iHeartRadio, YouTube, and check out our socials at the Friend Pod, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. Also, be on the lookout for new merch that's coming soon. We're gonna be doing some drops, and we're also gonna be giving out some free merch and things of that nature. So be on the lookout for that. And we got a live show as well. So a lot coming your way. Shout out to the fans, old and new.
Yes, sir. Everything he said is valid, so we'll go ahead and get into it. So usually me, Rod, and Jermaine will chop it up about topics that we might want to talk about for the week or for the day. But today we have a very special guest in the building. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
What's up, everybody? I'm Kenzie from Detroit, rapper, stylist, and, that's what I do. What's up?
What's up? What's going on?
Well, welcome.
We're definitely
Thank
glad to
you.
have you on. Just have some good conversation with you, get to know a little bit more about Kenzie Ray. But so let's kind of start with kind of talking about Kenzie Ray, as a person. So you said you're from Detroit, east side or west side?
I'm from the west side, but I always bounce back between the two, so I feel like all the city mine.
Okay, the whole city. Okay, that's super dope. So from the west side, so can you kind of talk about, like what was it like growing up? Like what was your experience like, as a school age kid, in Detroit?
Okay, so how I growing up in Detroit, I was born in Detroit and I lived in Detroit until I was about 10, almost 11 years old.
Mm-hmm.
And my dad ended up taking us and moving us to the suburbs, Birmingham, Michigan. So that's a whole different, the experience as a whole was interesting. I went to a lot of different schools growing up in Detroit at first because my parents couldn't find one that was really comfortable. And my brother, it's easier being like a small girl in Detroit. You're not really getting chastised or bothered as much. Not to say that don't happen, but it's not as bad as it was for the boys. And my brother was really going through it at the time. So my parents wanted to get us up out of there. But our family still live in Detroit. So we was in Detroit every weekend, every holiday, all summer. But school was cool for me. My brother, the one that really went through it, like fighting, getting jumps, me trying to help him. I'm a couple of years younger than him, so I couldn't really do much at the
time. Well, I saw on your Instagram that you coined yourself the Motor City Princess.
Yeah, Motor City Princess.
So, before we get into it too deep, I want to ask you a couple of this or that's that are, Detroit specific. So, in Detroit, we're known for having our shit together, always leaving the house looking a certain way.
Of course.
But if you could only have, your hair done or your nails done, which one are you choosing?
I gotta go with my hair. Like, my hair gotta be done. Like, you can go without your nails done because, as long as your nails are clean and, in a nice shape, you are right. But with
respectable,
you need to do something to your hair every day. Although I do got locks, so I don't do something to my hair every day. That's kind of funny to say. But it's like growing up in Detroit, the girls' hair be laid. Okay?
Always.
And everybody know how to do hair out here. So it's no reason for your hair not to be done.
True. Okay. So then when you're going out, are you choosing lemon drop? Are you a Moscow Mule girl? Or are you coming through that Long Island?
That is so funny because you're naming all of my favorite drinks. Like, I be drinking them all. Bring them on. Nah, I always say I'm a Moscow Mule girl, but I don't like vodka. I like tequila, so I gotta switch it up.
Ooh, okay. Yes, tequila girls. Yes.
Casamigos, me, okay? Or
tequila boy.
A Mexican mule.
Okay, a Mexican mule for real. Or, a lemon drop. Usually when I'm with my girls, I get a lemon drop. Or when I'm with the fellas, I ain't gonna lie, I come like old school with beer in a shot.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, so that's so funny.
I'm not mad at that.
Yeah.
And then let's see, just a couple more Detroit specific questions. When you go out, what's your favorite hustle to do?
Ooh, okay. This is so embarrassing. I am not good at none of the hustles.
Same.
I am not good at any of them, but the Tamiya hustle, I feel like everybody love the Tamiya hustle, and I'm always trying to learn it. I'm always out there on the floor trying. It's the effort that counts.
That's all that matters,
For sure.
And then, okay, so you stop at the gas station. What are you gonna go and pick up inside?
Dang, this depends because I'm kind of moody, like when it comes to snacks, in and out. But right now, Great Fago is, if I'm gonna get some pop or something sweet, I'm going to Great Fago and like some the Nicky's hot chips, corn chips.
Yes.
Yeah, hit the spot.
A woman of my own heart, all about the spice. Okay. Give me some hot chips.
Yes, need them right now. I be trying to stay out of it though. The gas station these days are getting you. The prices are ridiculous in there.
I'm telling you, everything going up.
Heck yeah, inflation getting us all real bad.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, continuing on talking about Kenzie Ray. So like we just talked about Detroit. Kind of talk about like where the music came in. Like where did that even come from? Was it like something as a child that you were always a musical person, somebody always into music, or did it just come up out of thin air?
I would say like my whole family do music. Like my grandma, my mom was a choir director. My dad sang and was a preacher. So I grew up in a church. Going to church in Detroit. All of the choirs in Detroit are lit. Like they really be doing great out there. And I was inspired by that. Me and my cousin, he does music also. He lives in New York. Yeah, like, I don't know. We always been making music. I remember us making a song about Benadryl when we was kids. Like, just...
about Benadryl.
I know. My grandma was like, y'all cannot
the original lean rap
about that. I'm like, well...
Where was the influence from?
Just always making up little songs and rhymes and whatnot. I was a theater kid. I was always in theater in school and, choir, anything that can get me in the arts. And then I got into poetry eventually, and then that's how it led to rapping. Because I sang more than I rap at one point, but rapping just feels better.
Okay.
So you're just an all-around creative.
Yeah, really, I am. I really am. Like my boyfriend Knowledge, I like style him. That's really how like I started styling him. And he used to be like Ray, like when he was like writing his songs or like freestyling, and I come like just trying to freestyle behind him, just playing. He's like, bro, you can really do this.
For real.
So I'm like, I started taking it a little more serious and started putting music out.
Is that really how you started rapping? Just
really
like that?
Yeah, really just playing around. Like at first I used to just get nervous and not really know what to say, but from there it started working out. The more comfortable I got.
So who are your influences in music?
Ooh, and that is such a tough question because, like I said, I grew up in church. So, from a young age, I was listening to was gospel, and I just loved...
The way you rapping?
No. You... Like, not... I guess it's kind of like... That's the... Okay, I'm saying that's where it inspired me to, like, just start liking music in general. But rapping, I would have to say, like... Dang, like... This is kind of crazy to think about this because I really like Larry June. Because I would say that's when I put out my first song, when I was hearing Larry June rap. Like, okay, I can come kind of Larry June. My next song that I'm about to drop more so resembles that.
And that's Pussy Power, right?
I've just been listening. I'm sorry?
And that's Pussy Power, right?
Pussy Power, yeah. Pussy Power on the way. Yeah, 420. I can't wait until that drop until y'all can check it out. Outside, like really like my rapping, I would say I'm not. I can't say I'm not inspired by any rappers for real, but I can say I just kind of pull from my own vibe. Because if I
So when
think
you
about it,
wake
I don't
up,
listen to rap music that much, but I like to rap. I listen to a lot of R&B artists like SZA. I can say Doja Cat inspired me. I can say Doechii. Doechii is super dope out right now. But for the most part, I just been pulling for myself, trying to find something new.
So what came first? So you saying basically the poetry here came first, and then you kind of got into, actually rapping.
Yeah, poetry came first. I used to drop these little poems and whatnot on Instagram for a while, but then I just kind of turned into music.
So like, kind of talk about that difference between poetry and rap. Like, is it? I feel like there is a lot of similarities, but like, is there similarities with within the process of creating a poem and then creating a song?
Yeah, I would say it is. It's definitely a big difference when it comes to like the intimacy of writing a poem and then writing a rap. Writing a rap is, I would say you're just pulling from two different sides of. I would be pulling from two different sides of myself when it came to poetry. Like poetry, like it's real deep for me. It's real emotional. It's real. I have to be alone to write poetry. But if I'm writing a rap, I can be around a crowd of people or be around friends and feed off of other people. But when it comes to poetry, I purely have to just sit and be on my own to understand how I'm feeling and what I really want to write and where I'm writing from so that that can come across the best way to other people.
How how different is it performing poetry in front of people versus raps? Because like you said, poetry is much more intimate, maybe emotional. Like, does it feel different when you're performing the two?
Um, I would say poetry is different in the sense of it's the calmness in it. I don't have to, I'm not running out of breath. I'm not going too fast.
Mm,
Um, it's easier like to make like mess ups doing poetry and it's more noticeable. But when you performing and you rapping, as long as your energy just hype, it's really hard for anybody to catch. Like, oh, you messed up. Definitely when you like I don't rap over my lyrics. So I remember my lyrics to rap with the beat. And that alone is like, it's different than just doing some poetry without anything behind you.
Jermaine, you muted.
oops. I was just saying, I'm sure too, like when you rap, if you need a break, you can, get the crowd involved. You can, do
Hmm.
call and response. You can do other things to get people engaged versus the poetry is just all you.
Yeah, the poetry is definitely just all you. I would say, dang, they both make you nervous though. They both make you nervous. Being able to get up in front of on a stage in front of people is not the easiest thing to do. And I still to this day have to break out of my shell often when it comes to performing. Like often.
Mm. Which is
I,
interesting considering you have a theater background. Like you've
Yeah.
been on stage. Yeah.
Like been on stage several times, been in front of churches, been everywhere. And it's still like every time I get on that stage, it's like, okay, take a deep breath, go ahead, get it out. Different crowds also crowds can sometimes be completely different. And
Hmm.
what you get from one crowd, another crowd might not give you that. And it don't mean that they don't enjoy, like one crowd can be super hype, like naturally. And another
Mm-hmm.
crowd can be like, I'm actually watching and listening to you.
Yep.
You know?
Now, now, which one do you prefer though? Do you prefer the people that just like pondering at what you're doing, or the people that's getting hype at your music and at your poetry?
um, I would say it's easier. It's easier for the hype crowd. It's definitely easier for the hype crowd. It's fun. But with the pondering crowd, it always feels like, I'm up for the I'm up for the challenge every time. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I'm about to show y'all. Y'all about to be feeling good at the end.
Yeah.
you
Okay,
know.
super dope, super dope. So kind of talk about that writing process that you do now. So what is it? Do you when you're writing rap specifically? So you said like sometimes you be around people, but
hmm
like what is it? Do you just wake up on a Tuesday and you just feeling it, or do you
Um.
have to have 5 beats at a time and just write to them, or like what's that
Yeah,
process?
and where are you even getting those beats from?
Okay. I get beats from different friends and stuff. Send me beats. I got a couple of producer friends like Johnny Ghost, Lando. Um, T, my guy T in LA, always sending good beats. Um, when it comes to writing, you kind of gotta write all the time. Like, you should be writing all the time, or
Mm-hmm.
whatever is inspiring you. Or even if it's just little jokes or like a little bar, like you'll come up with a random bar randomly, and you're just like, okay, let me write this down, and I might be able to use it for later. Um, I'm real chatty, and always singing and like doing stuff. So sometimes I'll just come up with a flow and be like, okay, like I like that, like I like how that sound, and voice record it. Voice record it. So like if I do hear a beat or come
Mm.
across a beat and I'm like, oh, okay, I can do this with this, or switch it up however it could fit the beat, but I got the gist of it. Yeah, that's really it. Writing with people is harder though. Like when you around a crowd of people, definitely if they like sweet rappers or they got some real talent, you will be like, dang, I don't want to say nothing embarrassing or nothing goofy in front of them.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
you sometimes you just gotta go with the flow, and definitely if you got a good crowd of artists around you, most of them not judging you because they go through the same thing. They feeling the same way. So yeah,
Yeah, it's that real competition for real.
right.
So kind of talk about. So you mentioned L.A. You had you got a producer in L.A. that send you beats. So you mentioned Larry June is one of your influences for music. And so something I wanted to ask you about was like that connection between. I mean, people really say it's Detroit and Oakland, like how they cousins and whatnot. But like, kind of talk about that. Have you ever been to Oakland? Like, have you ever soaked up the city and just kind of seen like what's going on out there? And kind of talk about your experience with that.
um, I actually have not been to Oakland. When I was in LA, I was mainly in like Inglewood, North Hollywood, or like downtown LA for the most part. And I don't even know if I met many people from Oakland, but I can say LA was like it is an experience being around them and their culture. And shoot, like, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I can't fully compare it to like the city or anything like that, or how it's the same because it's so different. But some of the people, I would say the heart of it is kind of the same. The people are like,
I
how they move will make you think like, okay, y'all like Detroit and I had an area.
I
Mm-hmm.
100% agree. I think what's interesting about LA from my experiences out there is like once you get out of like West Hollywood, when you're more like in the real LA with people who actually like live there, grown up there, not like transplants, you
hmm
realize like the culture, like the city of like that hustle aspect, that them having their own way of talking, dressing is very, very, very similar to Detroit to
hmm
me.
Yeah, I used to go to this place called Leimert Park.
Mm-hmm.
And Leimert Park is just basically like this block of just black owned businesses, and they have like events and all sorts of things for black people. And I believe like there, that's where it showed me like, okay, like LA got something good going on when it comes to our people and the how they embrace each other, even in the midst of like all the BS. And that's kind of how Detroit is for us. Like, you know, it's
Yeah, like
Dom
serving in
Kennedy
Livernois.
talked about,
yeah,
yeah.
living noise. Like, okay, we right here. We all embracing each other. We love each other. although that's right in the middle of the hood for real. Like, but it's a small oasis for the most part.
Not for real.
Yeah.
What you was gonna say, right?
No, I was saying Dom Kennedy always shouts out Lamar Park. Isn't that where
Yeah.
he's from? Things of that nature.
Yeah, I rock with Dom. Dom's sweet, like, and yeah, they be
It's
over
funny because he
there
got a
all of them.
similar style to Larry June.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I be listening to Dom out there. They just also the perfect like cruise music, like just you cruising and perfect for LA and fit LA. And like I said, my song Pussy Power, that's really the inspo. Like I was just in LA cruising, chilling, and that's what I'm trying to get off.
Yeah.
Keeping
So
it
yeah,
clean, you know.
give us a preview of what we can expect with Pussy Power. So it's gonna be, you said cruise music. Is it like a summer anthem kind of vibe? Is it more
It's definitely
lyrical?
it's definitely for the girls. It's not super lyrical. It's
Ooh.
but it
We
got
want
some
some
bars in
captions.
it. You got super
Yes.
caption. I would say the whole song is caption after caption.
We're here for it.
And I think it's great for the summer. It's great for the heat. It's great for everybody. I think this is a song everybody can like, literally like, and girls, boys, anybody, hip hop, not really into it. Like you're gonna hear this song and be like, dang, like this is a vibe. You can catch a vibe to it for sure.
It also looks like the visuals are really dope too from what you previewed on Instagram.
Yeah, I can't wait. I cannot wait to let
Since
y'all
you
see it.
I know that obviously you say you're a stylist, like you're into fashion. So, and you just are all around creative. So,
Mm-hmm.
how much of like your own vision went into like creating the visuals, creating the video, or was it, something that you did a lot of collaborating with the video editor and director?
I collaborated a lot. I did collaborate a lot, but it was honestly a true collaboration. We both put in both of our visions and brung them together as one. Her name is Jordan. I met her in LA. Well, I met her through a friend that shot a video a while ago for Knowledge, and he just heard the song and was like, I rock with it. And my girl Jordan was like, I want to shoot this video for you, and we just got to working together and got it going. Like, yeah, the
I
styling.
love that it's a female director.
Yes, a female director. I couldn't have a male director for Pussy Power. Come on now. No, but yep, a female director and editor, and I'm starring in it. And
Yes.
it's a vibe, really. They put their hearts into it, and I really do enjoy it. I can't say thank you enough to them for being down to doing this with me, and I just hope it gets the love that it really deserves. Like, I really do.
So I'm excited to hear it. I'm excited to see the visuals. And you definitely got some support over here, that's for sure.
I appreciate it. Yeah, I'm nervous. This is my first interview I've ever done. Like,
Really?
over
Ever?
here, like, ever. Yeah, this is the first interview that I've done. I think I've been asked to do a few other interviews, but they didn't fully follow through. And I'm like, man, like, it's really happening.
Yeah, they were bullshitting. It's all good though. We got you.
It
We
be
got you.
like that.
Yeah, I got a question for you.
Yes.
So what's the vision for your music in the future? Are you looking towards an EP or an album? Are you just
Um,
putting out singles for now? Like, what's the plan for your music career? Where do you see it going?
well, right this moment, I am putting out a few singles. After Pussy Pie, I probably got 2 more singles that I'm going to end up putting out. But I also got a lot of songs in the clip, so I'm trying to figure out how to box them up or how I'm going to put them out. Because at the end of the day, I do want my music to grow, but I want it to grow independently. Because I don't think I ever want to feel like this is just a job. Because I really enjoy doing this, like for myself. But I also would love to really gain income independently from it the best way I can. And I might, I don't know, switch up the sound every once in a while. Like I said, like I rap, but I also sang a whole lot and always been into like super alternative music, like Willow Smith, like people like that, Rico
Okay.
Nasty, or like just people that will, I don't know, come out of their shell in a sense. But I also want to keep, keep my city in it, keep myself in it, and just expand overall, keep
Yeah,
growing.
that's dope. So, how do you feel about working with other artists um, from different genres? Since you said you like those Willow Smiths and Rico Nasty.
I'm sure if the opportunity came around and like somebody that was like in a rock band was like, "You want
Yeah.
to rap over this?" I'm doing it
Hmm.
100%. Like, without a doubt, I'm gonna have to hop in that bag. Try to get that, and or like singers. Like I don't know. Yeah, I think I would work with a lot of other artists. I haven't really had the opportunity to work with many other artists yet, but I'm definitely open to that. 100% open.
So when it comes to your singing, so like you said, you might switch the swag up and do, like a little bit more singing in the future. But like, how far in the future do you feel like that will be? And then like, kind of who would inspire you to like, kind of make that transfer over to like, okay, I was rapping now, but now I'm about to get my singing bag.
I would say right now Dochi for sure because Dochi can really rap and she raps, but she will hop in. I feel like singing today.
Yeah, she could sing for real.
Yeah, so I like the versatility that she has, and I feel like that's something that more artists should explore, like not just sticking with one thing or one genre all the time. I've been
Hmm.
joking about like I don't know, just bringing back music that you would love to get old to. Like when you get
Mm.
old, like okay, I want to hear this. I want to listen to this. Like I'm trying to bring back the Al Green vibes.
Ooh, that good Saturday cleaning the house music.
Okay, like I don't know, like or like I think like 24 Karat when Bruno Mars did that, like that was like a vibe, like
Hmm.
that we're gonna want to listen to that song when we're old, no matter what.
Really timeless shit.
Yeah,
Like
timeless.
I always be saying like I think what's that Miguel song like Adorn.
Uh
Like
huh.
Miguel
Mm-hmm.
Adorn gonna be one of the ones like I'm gonna be 80 years old still just
Yeah.
tapping my foot or whatever I could do at 80. Like
For real, for real. Or I think of like Daniel Caesar. Like although like
oh.
his conspiracies and whatnot, people mad at him, canceled. But that first album that he dropped, people are gonna be listening to that album. Like
Mm-hmm.
this is how I
For real.
met your mother. Like in
Yeah.
love. Like or and I'm not even all just love music. I can't think of the song right now, but Don Toliver had just dropped a song. Dang, and I can't think of the name of it. But it's super like it's a guy featuring on it singing, and I feel like that's old school. Like this for old souls, but it got a newer feel to it, which is super sweet.
Is it Luckily I'm Having?
Yeah, luckily I'm
Mm.
having that song is
Yeah.
so sweet. Like,
We were just talking about that song too.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, that song is
So
super dope.
so like what do you think kind of goes into that like going into like a classic record that's timeless and stuff like that? Like what elements do you feel like you need to put into that to make it last forever?
Um, you know, I feel like hits come like not once in a lifetime, but they come and they go.
Mhm.
So when you're a smaller artist or an artist without a large enough reach, a song could become timeless to you, Like
True.
but timeless to everybody is probably a lot more than you just writing a song and being like, okay, this song a hit, like this song's sweet. You need great production, great mixing and mastering. Um, and then not even after you
Mm-hmm.
get the sound perfect and everything like that, you have to go into, how do I push this song and get this song everywhere so that other people can
Right.
grasp on to it quickly? Because as an artist, a song will get old to you before it gets old to anyone else.
Yeah.
There's new songs every week, literally,
Yeah, yeah.
and
So
albums.
new songs, new albums, new artists every day.
Get into like the distribution and getting the reach. How do you feel about these labels, or do you want to stay independent?
Um, whew, that's, I feel like that's kind of a difficult question in the sense of, I would deal with a label. I would deal with a label if it made sense. Um, but I probably wouldn't be all in with a label at no point.
Mm.
Only because I would want a lot of control of my own life and like what I'm doing. And I'm not sure if that would go well with the label.
Yeah, that's why I want to kind of lead to in this next question. If you can work with any label, or you think a label would fit you, uh, who do you think that would be? Would that be like a quality control or a TDE, or in any of these labels or underground groups who are grown fame that we know today?
Mm. Whew. I guess like sometimes I think of smaller labels, but then I know that like a lot of smaller labels are just connected to a bigger label. Um, when I think
Like who?
of, I did like TDE for a long time, but then I was
Hmm.
like, dang, PG Lang is fresh and fresh and new.
True. Yep.
Baby
Um,
Keem.
and then I'm just like, regardless, that's just kind of, or I used to like Wonderlust at one point. I liked Wonderlust because I felt like me being a rapper and then me also wanted to expand and go into like different genres of music that would work out for me. Mm, and hmm, a lot. I
Or
read a
like
lot about
Dreamville
it.
or something like that.
I'm sorry,
Or like Dreamville.
Dreamville. I don't know. Not that I don't like Dreamville. I just don't think I would. I would fit well in Dreamville personally.
Hmm.
Um, trying to think. Empire. Empire seems cool sometimes, but sometimes it doesn't seem the best.
But it seems like you really want creative control.
Yeah,
As long as you can get to choose what you want to do and partner with them.
right. And I believe that would be like, I would want something more like a distribution deal than
Hmm.
like me just signing onto y'all label fully as y'all artists. And I probably wouldn't want to do that.
Hmm.
Yeah, I think that's what Young Dolph had. Like, I think he had like distribution through Empire, before he passed away. And so,
Hmm.
yeah, you don't necessarily have to all the way jump in and be like, all right, y'all take control of my life. You know
Hmm.
what I mean? But no,
Yeah.
I feel that though. Like, you're trying to get your bag, like, by yourself. Like, build this shit up yourself and not like have no different
Yeah.
input.
I really like what like La Russell doing.
Oh
Like
yeah, yep.
and I feel like, I don't know, I be feeling like, once one person show you like, okay, I'm doing this. Not to say stuff is gonna go exactly how they're showing it to you, but
Hmm.
it's possible.
Definitely. Yeah, he definitely got a lot of notoriety, for his bars and stuff like that. And he did this shit like by his lonely. So like it's definitely possible. Um Now I do kind of want to ask you, so like going back to Detroit and stuff, I don't know if you still stay in the area and stuff like that, but I just kind of wanted to see like what is it like, performing in Detroit? Like is it pretty easy to find places and different showcases to perform? And then also like what is the networking like? Is it easy to get around and kind of meet different people to link up with and all that kind of stuff?
Um, so I would say performing in Detroit is pretty interesting. It's an interesting experience when you are like up and coming.
Mm,
A lot of places do just accept like, okay, you brand new, like come on, open arms. But some places it's a bit more difficult because they have their like regular lineup, or there are people that they like just want on the lineup, or you perform like super last or super first, and then it can get complicated in the city.
Mm-hmm.
But I can say, once you do your like due diligence in the city, it becomes easier because I don't know. I just know one thing about Detroit is like you gotta earn your respect out here. Like they're
Mm-hmm.
not just gonna we're not just gonna support you because you from here. And we definitely not supporting you if you ain't from here for real.
Exactly.
Like,
Yeah.
it's kind of like you just gotta, if you do the groundwork, like Detroit people eventually will be like, oh, okay, like at least I seen you, like I know who you are a little bit.
Yeah.
So I would say the second time is always better than the first when it comes to Detroit, and that goes for probably every venue that you're gonna perform at.
And what's that like breaking down those barriers? Because like you kind of mentioned earlier, like sometimes you got to take a deep breath before you get on stage. Like, so you saying people not really receptive that first time, or like what's that vibe like?
I would say people are tend to be receptive the first time, but that has to be like, I guess it's like after you perform. It's not that, or while you're performing, they're receptive towards you. But trying to get on the bill to perform, or like and
Hmm.
get like a good area to perform in, it's kind of like if I ain't never seen you perform, I'm like, you know, I don't know, you don't. And I would say people would say like I don't even look like a rapper. Like you don't fully look like you about to just start spitting or like rapping.
Mm.
And then it's like most people go
Mm-hmm.
like based off of like what, like how you look and what you're given
Does that
instead of
bother you?
like knowing your talent. Do it bother me? I would say yeah, a little bit, not like a lot, because I feel like it's just always a pleasant surprise for people. Like, okay, like
Yeah, you can
she
spit
don't
like
give
for real.
rapper. Thank you. Thank you, man. Yeah, like most people be like, she don't give rapper until I start rapping. It's like, okay, well, she can rap.
So your partner, Knowledge,
Uh-huh.
you said you started doing the music with him, and how do you
Yeah.
motivate each other? Is it friendly competition, or are you guys working together, helping each other out? Are you with rhymes in particular, back and forth?
Um,
Like, how's that everything work there?
I would say it's like a mix of healthy competition and like full support in a sense. Um, like, cause like he has a lot of people sending him beats also, or like I got people sending me beats, or I'm finding beats, say it's that, and it's like, oh no, Jay, I know you would sound sweet on this beat, like this beat for you,
Mm-hmm.
like, or he'll
Hmm.
be like, Ray, like, okay, like this is a beat that I can really hear you on.
Mm-hmm.
Um, we're always playing and talking, like really, we're literally playing all day. So, and rapping, and like he's kind of like a leave me alone, I'm writing type of person. Like I don't want to be around
Yeah, I feel that.
nobody. Like I'm writing right
Hmm.
now, so I don't really like bother him while he's writing. And really, it's the same. Like and then sometimes maybe when we're going through beats, it's like, okay, now we're together and just vibing off of each other. So, but I
So do
don't
you
know, it's
show
kind of like
each other?
competition.
So do you show each other your songs? Like when you get done with the song, you be like, "Hey, listen to this," or do you guys go to the studio together?
Definitely
Um,
both of those.
hmm.
Like every time, like definitely, he does like Knowledge Monday. So most Mondays he'll drop a new freestyle, and
Hmm.
I've recorded every one of his Knowledge Mondays.
For real.
That's support right there.
Okay, that is support. Okay. He'll come to me like, okay, you want to hear the new Monday? Like, you ready to hear the Monday? And I'm like, yeah, like, and then he'll record his
Well,
Monday, like,
yeah.
okay, you ready? Like, that's how it goes every time. So Or when he's writing a new song, he'll be like, how does it sound? Or writing can also be like, what is that? Like I said, like personal, like you're writing your feelings, real feelings down, or real things that are happening in our lives. Like nobody's really lying in their raps or lying in their raps at all. So it's like, dang, like how you think this too much to say? Like, or do you think, bouncing off each other in that way? But, that's really it.
And you said he was the first person who encouraged you to rap, right?
He was the one that was like, Ray, you can rap. You can rap. And I used
So
to be
had
like,
other
nah.
Did you rap in front of people before him, or was he the first person that you felt like comfortable enough to be like, let me play around with this little
That
bit?
is so funny because I was like, I feel like I've never thought about this because I feel like I've been rapping, but he was the first person. No, because I got siblings and whatnot. I feel like I was rapping and stuff when I was a kid, like, or just goofy, like playing, acting like we was rapping, but seriously rapping. Yeah, he would be the first person. I was like, okay, I wrote this down. Let me rap this to you. Yeah, like
that's a vulnerable experience.
Like very vulnerable. And let me tell y'all, he is not gonna hold you up. he thinks that's bad. He's gonna be like, that's not it.
So your music career could have ended right there.
Right? No, for real, for real. Like, and I would say like he'll like. I would say he's nicer to me than he is to other people. Like, right? It's not that bad.
It's funny that you mentioned that because that was gonna be my next question. Like, how do y'all like deal with criticism and stuff like that? Like, is it easy to tell him, and then is it easy for him to tell you that like, nah, that's not it? Like, get back to the, go back to the
Yeah,
lab.
I would say in the
Yeah,
beginning,
like you hear a
no,
Monday rap and you'd be like, man.
it was not easy. And I'm sure it wasn't easy for him. And then we had to like really talk about it because it was like, okay, like, let's not lie to each other about this. Like, let's like respect each other enough to be like able to tell the truth when it comes to this. Like if you don't like it, you don't like it. But then you also have to know of being an artist, like other people aren't always going to like your stuff or hear it the way you hear it. And that does not mean it's bad. So you can't take someone's full opinion, never. I would say not even. Like, that's my partner, that's my guy. Not even him, like 100%. Like, like, because and I'm also a girl, and he's a guy, and he like raps like super tough all the time, and me, I be trying to catch a vibe.
I was just gonna say, I feel like what sounds good to our women ears is very different than what sounds good to my man's ears.
Like, and I don't know, some of my lyrics can be a bit risque, to say the least, and not to say
pussy power.
Exactly. And not to say like he doesn't like the lyrics, because he does, but it's like, that is like
he might be a little bit like, you just said what? Like, huh?
Like, girl, what? Like, how you feeling today? How you feeling today? It's like pussy power, my boy.
Hey, that's what it is. That's the type of time we on today.
Yeah, definitely. And that's you just gotta follow your first heart. But I do say I take his criticism more serious when we're like recording, like in a recording process. Like,
so more in terms of like your flow, your delivery, things like that.
Yeah, mainly like delivery, because I feel like I sound loud right now, but a lot of the times I'm quiet. Like, I am like, and definitely sometimes when I get in front of like the mic when it comes to recording, I can like get tight. Like, okay, like, come on, record, and not get the delivery off the way I would like to because of nerves. Like, what's so crazy? Nerves in the studio, I feel like it's worse for me than nerves on the stage. And I get nerves in both of them. But nerves inside of the studio is just different. It's so vulnerable and touchy because you want perfection. Definitely a person like me. Like I really want my stuff to sound a certain way, and I want to make sure that I'm being the best that I can be, or getting the message across the best way. So yeah, that can
Where did
be.
that idea of perfection come from?
Where did the idea of perfection come from?
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, I don't know. I would say my mama. Shoot, for me, my mom.
I was about to say when you asked that, Rod, that was giving me psychologist vibes.
Exactly, shoot. My mama said, "Girl, not for real though. Like for real, my mom used to make me and my cousins perform like what song was this? It's like Mr. Telephone Man for
Oh
Christmas."
yeah,
And me and my
New Edition.
yeah, New Edition, because she loved her some New Edition. Like, girl, she used to force us to like sing the song, and we better have our right notes, have the right. Like, she used to be like, "I'm not playing with y'all."
Okay, Joe Jackson.
Exactly. She really tried. She really tried us all. Like, like you guys are gonna be famous, and that's funny because my mom had a rap group when she was growing up, called the Love Girls.
Oh, so this was in the blood.
Yeah,
It was
really.
destined to be.
It's destined to be. Like, yeah, she used to rap back in the day, and she just kind of tried to force us to be professional singers and artists as kids.
So what's that relationship now when she hear your music, or do you show it to her first?
My mama is like a church lady, like for real.
So the pussy power, she like.
My like, mom will play you the next single.
Exactly.
The next one you'll get a copy of.
Nah, my mama, she like, she supports me. I'm her kid, you know. She be like, all right, this is my kid with crazy stuff, but I'm just rock with him. I'm just roll with the punches. You know, I think me and my siblings been surprising her since the beginning, so she'll be all right.
Now, do any of your other siblings do music?
No, it's just me, the problem child.
That's
kidding. No, not the problem child. I'm just the one that was like, you know, more so into the arts, and my siblings are
the creative one.
Yeah, like teachers and in school to be like doctors and you know, doing the right things in life. I got a younger sister. She's still in high school, so you know, I'm the one that said I'm going to LA, Ma.
I'm gonna make some shake. I feel that.
Get into the money.
I want to take a little bit back too, because you was talking about Mr. Telephone Man and performing and stuff like that, and then you mentioned high school, like your little sister is in high school right now. But I kind of wanted to see, like, when you was in high school and grade school, you was doing theater stuff. Like, does that type of stuff translate to what you do now at all? Like, even when you shooting your videos and you starting your videos, or when you performing, like, do those things kind of translate over to rap?
Yeah, definitely. Like knowing how to have some stage presence and knowing how to, not be extremely camera shy, because those are things that you really got to kind of grow into. Yeah, for the most part, you have to grow into that. Sometimes it's natural to people, but for me, I did have to work on that. And yeah, theater did that for me. In high school, I was performing for every season, trying out for solos, just pushing myself to get better, get bigger. And now, like rapping, like getting on the stage, it's like I said, like beforehand, it's like, okay, Ray, come on, you got to like geek myself up. The time I'm out there and performing, it's like all of that went out the door. But sometimes people hold on to that while they're on that stage. And you can see it, like sometimes it makes the performance less. Like being nervous will mess up your whole performance, definitely as a singer, because I sang. So you couldn't be up there extremely shaky and just.
Yeah, with the shaky voice.
Yeah. Like, but in practice, people are like, bro, you can really sing. You just can't perform. That's not your talent. And I feel like I always knew that you really got to be able to do both. Like, You have to be able to perform. You have to be able to like perform and have like a good song, or good body language, knowing how not to turn your body on stage so people can't see you. Like things like that always ring in my head.
And more or less on that, when it comes to performing and that connection that you're growing with the fans, what was some of the wildest experiences
Wildest experiences.
or emotional experiences or things that
Okay.
meant the most to you?
Um, dang, dang, emotional experience. I feel like I've had a million emotional experiences on stage. But as far as rapping, it's been a time where I felt like, I just didn't perform like I know I could have. And that probably like turned me up. That turned me up, like, or it's turning me up as we speak, even because, um, and like I know I'm mentioning my partner a lot. He's such a great performer. Like at the end of the day, he can rap all of his lyrics without missing one breath or without like stumbling and confident. And sometimes when I look at him, it's like, dang, like, all right, Ray, step it up. Like, step it up. Like, and not to like try to be exactly like him, but I would say he's just a great example of how you should be performing as a rapper and what type of stance you should have on that stage. And I just want to, once again, pushing myself to get better. And I think at that moment, I compared myself to him like a little too much. Like, dang, like, you just rap 15 songs, no lyrics behind you, didn't miss one word. Like, and all I rapped was 3 songs. And as a new artist,
Mm-hmm.
that's like good. Like, you did a
For
good
real.
job. He's been rapping for almost
Hell yeah.
10 years before you.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Like, so how do you expect yourself? You haven't even put in those amount of hours yet.
So you
So,
would say he's your biggest fan? Or is that your
um,
biggest emotional experience with a fan?
yeah, yeah,
Oh, I love that.
yeah,
That's dope.
Couples
yeah.
motivating each other and whatnot.
Yep. And you know what? I can also say my mom. Like I know I mentioned my mom before, but me and my mom, she saw me perform and it was definitely that was an experience that
Mm.
I'll probably never forget. But
No,
maybe that's a talk for another time.
no, that's super dope. You got that super dope support system around you for sure. But
Yeah.
I did want to ask you about, like, so you mentioned, like rapping without the lyrics behind you, like,
Uh-huh.
so it's just straight beat. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, can you kind of talk about why that's important for you to do that? Because there's a lot of niggas out here that's straight up playing their songs and rapping over it. But why is it important to like not, use your lyrics when you rap?
I
I
would
wanted to.
say,
Do you even write? Do you or just show up and just go?
oh, what you mean?
Like just you show up to the studio and just do your verse. Like,
Oh no, I'm writing. I'm writing for sure. I'm
Mm.
like not like I'm not like the freestyler for real. When it comes
mm-hmm.
to freestyling, um, I don't know. In the studio cost, it's time and money. Like I don't be wanting to play. Like I'm going in there trying to get get everything off the right way. So I'm going to
But at
write.
home or when you're working in that process, are you just freestyling?
I would say most of the time for me at home, like I'll just have a beat and I'll be writing to that beat. And when I'm ready to record it, I'm gonna go record it instead of,
Mm-hmm.
you know, I don't know. I think sometimes people just like to play in the studio, like to have a good time. And I do like to have a good time. You should vibe, catch a vibe in the studio. But like go there and
It's
get
also work.
done. Yeah, like we working. Get done what we trying to get done. Because like why else are we doing this? Are we not trying to get something out of this? And I mean, I guess it's like, you can like be in it like just for fun, but like I don't know. I feel like you have to have at that point you have to be doing something else
Yeah, it's a
also.
Yeah.
business.
Yeah. Um, yeah. So And it was a question before that I'm not remembering right now.
What did I say? I said, oh yeah, why is it important for you to like, kind of, rap without your lyrics and just straight to the beat?
Oh, okay. Ooh, I would say like rapping, rapping with your own like voice. I don't know. It's just better. Like it shows ability more so
It's
than
real
anything.
showmanship.
Yeah, it shows ability. Um, if you're rapping over your lyrics, one, a lot of these, like I would say, it's hard to find good sounds when you're performing at like a lower level already. So you don't want to like it's your voice, you screaming over your song, or people not being able to hear you at all. It's like what are you really up there for at this point? But if you can mute your lyrics, play your beat, and just rap off of it, that's where it's like you don't even have to dance around and do all the extras at that point. It's like I guess that's kind of like it's back to poetry. It's back to
Yeah. Yeah.
it's back to poetry in a sense. Like you just hear what I'm really
Mm-hmm.
saying without all of the extras. I don't
Who
know.
do you think who do you think your peers are in music? Or
Ooh.
who would you want your peers to be?
Mm-hmm. Man, oh man. I feel like that's an interesting question because, hmm, dang, like I really be saying this, but like I really don't be comparing myself to people. But I do got some artists in like the city, like some girl artists in the city that I really do like Taylor Bentley. She's super dope to me.
Yeah, she
Um,
fire.
yeah, Detroit Diamond. She's also pretty dope to me. I had a this event called Pussy Party event in November, and I had a lot of dope female rappers out there like performing, and they were all super dope. Like a day Hendrix is super sweet, and YB Breezy had brought somebody with her. Melamillion, Melamillion, I think that's her name. Super dope artist. It was just a super dope lineup of females that's really out here getting it in with rapping.
Hmm.
So
And
that
you
was dope, and
made
I
that
was dope
event?
that I made that event. It was dope they even came out and
Wow.
wanted to perform with me because I was like, I don't know, I only had one song out at the
They fuck
time.
with you.
Yeah, and I was like, dang,
Wow.
I really want to come. like feeling I guess a bit of I think is that survivor's guilt? Like a type of survivor's guilt, like
Like imposter syndrome, something
imposter
like that.
yeah, like y'all wanna come with me for real? But they did. I think a couple of girls I reached out to did it, but that didn't like mean like, that it was like any ill will or anything. It was just
Mm-hmm.
kinda like they had other things going on, which is cool. Like that's cool. And the other girls did show up and show out though, and I'm proud of them, and I'm happy they came to do that with me. And I would say that's my peers.
Now I'm curious. In this conversation, we've talked about trying to find like venues to perform at and making sure you're build in the right spot. Um, getting your music out. I'm curious, like for where you're at now, where you want to go. Like, what do you feel like is the biggest challenge right now to get from where you are and where you want to be?
Um, I would say like the like work life balance in a sense. Having to actually to like not be able to 100% focus on making music right now.
Mm.
That's probably the biggest challenge. And not knowing like sometimes you will be like, okay, I'm about to take the risk and like stop working and stop doing all of this to try to build my music up. But once again, it's a risk. It's not 100%. And yeah, I would say like, yeah, like having to work and not being able to put all of my time into music. That's one of the biggest challenges. And the other biggest
Yeah.
challenge probably would be something in the sense of like finding the right team of people to
Mm-hmm.
work with. So
that makes total sense. I think there's not enough conversation about what it takes to be a creative who still has to pay the bills another way.
Yeah.
Where you want to put all your attention into your craft, but you also know like these bills are still due every month.
These bills are due every month, okay? They're knocking.
Mm-hmm.
That it's difficult because you'll beat yourself up as an artist or feel like giving up or quitting or just everything just piled on top of you at the same time. But you know, you only win a race if you don't stop. So
Yeah. And, work is important because it helps to fund your dream. That money goes back into getting the studio time and getting the right, partners, the right editors, the right team behind you that you can, pay those people so you can get the music out.
Yeah. So it's kind of like, and I think that's what a lot of creatives, like, I would say me, like, I would realize, like, if I quit a job, I'm like, I'm tired of working because I genuinely do not like working for people. Like, I don't want to work here anymore. And then you realize,
You
like,
got
okay,
some.
well, I cannot fund rapping or like the stuff that I want to do without having a job. And I also have to pay bills. So it's always like as an artists be asking themselves questions like, am I going to pay all of my rent this month or am I going to pay some for the studio session?
Mm-hmm.
Like, try to hustle up the rest. And that is, the life of an artist.
The life of an artist for sure. So yeah, let's go ahead and wrap this up. I just want to kind of get ask one last question, which is, so we got Pussy Power coming out on 420. Which what day is that? That's a Wednesday, I think. It's a Thursday.
Yep, because my birthday Friday, April 21st.
Happy
Ooh,
birthday.
happy early birthday.
Thank ya. 420, I'm dropping.
Big plans?
Not super big plans. Keeping it small, keeping it cute.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I like to just chill out and reminisce on my birthday.
Mm-hmm. You be blasting your song?
I'm sorry?
You gonna be blasting your song?
Of course, I am going to be blasting my song. I also got a snippet of my other song, Get It Girl, which y'all be able to hear on the video if you guys watch the video. So more music on the way, more rollouts, more fun, more Kenzie Ray out here.
For sure.
Yeah.
All right, super dope. But yeah, we definitely appreciate you, Kenzie Ray, for coming through. Everybody check out that Pussy Power is gonna be dropping off 420, and then we'll put all the links for Kenzie Ray, in the description, so y'all can go and check her out for everything that she got coming up. But yeah, absolutely. So if you've made it this far, thank you so much for listening. This has been the Friends Podcast, and we out. Peace out.
Bye.
Love.
Love it.